Wind tore the map from Goldilocks' satchel, and silver raindrops scattered across her shoes. She pressed her face into the gust, hair stuck to her forehead, and followed a small lantern of curiosity into a cartoon forest, where trees wore moss hats and mushrooms nodded like doormen. Her cheeks were puffed with cold and her boots squelched. Hungry and tired, she saw a buttery, toast-colored cottage hunched between ferns. Steam puffed from the chimney like a welcome sigh. The door stood slightly open, and Goldilocks stepped closer, drawn by the warm smell of home. Goldilocks slipped inside, and the house smelled of warm flour and vanilla. On a polished table, 3 bowls sat in a row, colors loud as a small circus. She tried the first spoonful. It burned her mouth, and she snapped her lips shut, steam fogging her glasses. The second bowl was icy and made her teeth chatter. She hopped in place. The third bowl felt just right, a gentle heat that spread into a smile. She ate with the hunger of someone who forgot the time. Her boots left wet prints across a rug patterned with dancing leaves. Near the hearth, 3 chairs stood like old friends. Papa Bear's chair was huge, wrapped in plaid, and it swallowed Goldilocks when she tried it. It smelled of pine and old stories. Mama Bear's rocker felt warm and gentle, but pinched her knees. She moved to the smallest wooden chair, carved by hand. It fit like a secret pocket. She could not help herself and hopped onto it. There was a sharp crack. The wood split, and the chair gave. Goldilocks fell onto the rug, heart pounding, shame and fear hot in her chest. Upstairs, 3 beds waited in the quiet house. Papa Bear's bed felt like a mountain, firm and serious. Mama Bear's bed held like a tide, soft and steady. The smallest bed was a whisper of a nest, small and warm. Goldilocks climbed the stairs, heavy with sleep and storm weariness. She tried each bed gently. The big beds were wrong, one too hard, one too soft. The small bed fit like a hug. She slipped under the covers, eyelids easing, and sleep curled its fingers around her. The storm's drum outside slowed, and the house breathed with a soft snore. Thunder stopped, and the world outside grew quiet. A gate creaked, and 3 voices called from the path. Papa Bear's voice was deep and sharp, asking who had eaten his porridge. Mama Bear's question came next, gentle but firm, asking about a broken chair. Baby Bear's small voice rang like a bell, asking who had been in his bed. The bears filled the doorway, big shapes against the light. Goldilocks lay curled in the small bed. The house held its breath. The 3 voices rose, and the warm smell of porridge mixed with a new, tense silence. Goldilocks woke to 3 pairs of eyes like quick light. Her hands scrambled for her satchel, and the ribbon in her hair stuck to her cheek. Heat rushed to her face, and her breath came short. She could have run. Instead, she put her wet boots on the floor and let shame show on her face. Her voice was small but steady as she told them the truth. The storm, the hunger, the lost map. None of it an excuse, only the reason she had come. She said she was sorry, and she wanted to make things right. Goldilocks offered to fix the broken chair. Papa Bear brought a nail, and Mama Bear showed how to study the joint. Goldilocks took a strip of cloth from her satchel and began. She studied the grain and the stress lines, tied knots, soaked the cloth to swell the fibers, and wrapped the leg tight. Her hands moved careful and steady. Baby Bear watched and told a story about a toppled tower, while Papa Bear hummed an old tune. Hammer taps and soft laughter braided them. The chair did not mend at once, but little by little it grew whole again. When the chair held and porridge simmered, they set 3 bowls on the table. Goldilocks washed the bowls and stirred a new pot, while Mama Bear brought bread and Papa Bear carved a slice. Baby Bear bowed his head and said the food tasted better when shared. They ate together, voices soft, learning without a stern lesson. Goldilocks kept her promise, and their forgiveness warmed the room like sunlight. Later, she tied her red ribbon and kept a patch in her satchel to remember the work. She walked into the forest, slower now, with friendship stamped on her knuckles.